Hey guys, Andrew at the AED Source, and today we're going to be talking about AEDs and how they work and why and when to use them. So stay tuned for that. But before we jump into it, would you please like and subscribe to this channel, supporting us, and so you can stay in touch with more videos that are informative and helpful for you. Okay, so let's talk about it, right? An AED, what is it? It's an automated external defibrillator as opposed to an internal defibrillator. Internal defibrillators usually set up in your chest here. There's like a little large lump. So an external defibrillator is going to be a box with pads, and they're adhesive pads, so they stick onto your chest. One right here, right below your right collarbone. The other one kind of like underneath your armpit and underneath your breast right here. Those defibrillators can detect different heart rates, and if your heart is in ventricular fibrillation specifically, then it is going to recommend and then deliver a shock. Let's take a look here. Let's assume that this is your heart, and your heart's broken up in 4 chambers like so. In this chamber up here, you have a node that where an electrical impulse is generated. There's another one down here, and then there's these fibers that go like so. And so the electrical impulse generates here, flows down here, flows down to the rest of the heart. And if you ever get electrocuted or do those kind of electrotherapy things, you know that electricity causes our muscles to spasm. And that spasm that occurs in the heart is what helps the heart beat. And so if the electrical impulses start misfiring or not firing at all, then it sends the heart into ventricular fibrillation with the misfires. So the electrical impulses are sporadic, and so causes the heart to just start quivering. Okay, and so what we do is, if you've got a human torso here, and you place a defibrillation pad here, and then another defibrillation pad right here on their chest, it is going to deliver a shock, hopefully kind of temporarily stopping the heart and then resetting it. And what we hope is that when we stop this malfunction and these misfirings, that the heart will be able to restart its normal electrical impulse going from here to here and then down into the ventricles. So that's how an AED works, okay? It doesn't work on every single type of arrhythmia that exists out there. It really is specifically for ventricular fibrillation. So if your heart is like just completely stopped and there's no electrical impulses whatsoever, the AED is not going to do anything. If the AED detects that you have a normal rhythm and normal electrical impulses, again, it's not going to do anything. So you can't hook up an AED to yourself right now. Like I could hook it up to myself, and I would not be able to shock myself because it would detect a regular rhythm and therefore would never charge and would never allow me to shock. So that's good to know, right? But cardiac arrest, this is what it specifically focuses on, and AEDs increase the chances of survival significantly, and this has been one of the largest game changers for the lay community out there, because it really, CPR in and of itself is great, but all CPR does is it helps sustain somebody's life, and so it just continues to circulate blood and whatever oxygen is in that blood to organs and tissues. But it doesn't necessarily restart the heart. AEDs are what restart the heart, and this is the true lifesaver right here. So yeah, you're going to go ahead, you see somebody who's not breathing, doesn't seem to be responsive. That would be an appropriate time to start doing CPR and to apply an AED, and then the AED will tell you whether it wants to shock or not. As far as how many times you can use an AED, on one battery, assuming that it's charged up and in good working order, you can usually shock 100, 200 times. I mean, those batteries can go for quite a while. Obviously, it depends by manufacturer, but it's certainly not one of those things after like 5 shocks you're going to run out of juice. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that this makes sense, gives you a little bit of better understanding of how AEDs work. They're super safe to use, and they make an incredible impact and difference in the survival outcomes for cardiac arrest victims. I would highly recommend, if you are involved with a religious organization or some sort of community center or other organization or business, definitely consider getting one of these. The chances that you're going to be someday exposed to a cardiac arrest event, or specifically your organization is going to be exposed to one, is fairly high. And these can make the difference between someone dying and someone living. You can check out AED Source, theaedsource.com. We have a full lineup of AEDs and accessories and more helpful information, comparison tables and all that good stuff. We would love to also hear your questions, if you have any, in the comments below. We'd be glad to answer those for you. Again, thanks for watching. This is Andrew at AED Source.